So, welcome back to Towns. Charon, Velerious, hello Velerious.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So, hill's getting mined, and this is important because we need this hill out of the way to build the next street of houses, which is going to be roughly here. The weird boat thing is leaving. The Vikings.
We don't know where it was. Does it say?
It was the wood merchant.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
So the wood merchant cruises around on a boat.
On a boat with wheels. A land boat.
Right.
Living
on shore.
Stone situation is getting a bit dire, but let's concentrate on the hill. Let's concentrate on the hill and get rid of the hill, because that's what we want to do, really.
Anyway, I was going to ask you about what kind of things you've been up to this week.
What I've been playing this week is... I've bought, played and finished 10 Million. Which is a game... Oh, they're taking the scaffolding down. It's a game that was obviously designed for a touchscreen. You can tell that when you play it, but they've done a pretty good job of switching it over to PC. And it's essentially a roguelike. It's like a match 3 system, like Bejeweled. So you have to match symbols to make a line of 3 and then they pop. But you've also got a little guy running through the dungeon. So like when he comes against an enemy, you have to pop shields or magic wands or swords to attack or defend against the enemy.
Right.
When he comes across a locked door or a treasure chest, you've got to match keys to open them, to open the locks and progress and stuff like that. And you've also got other resources like stone and wood to match as well to get things to repair your castle with. And the goal of the game is to get 10 million points in one single dungeon run. And it's the same dungeon, you'll keep running it until you win, basically. And it's like in between running the dungeon, you can spend like what you've earned during that run upgrading your ship to make yourself stronger so you can last longer next time you go in the dungeon. And it's really quite good fun, I must admit. It was £3. It was on Steam with 20% off, and it's a fantastic game.
It's still on cheap at the moment, so I was looking into it.
I've loved it, to be honest with you. It's been a fantastic game. I've really enjoyed it.
Fantastic experience.
Yeah, it is.
You recently
it stopped me playing FTL for a bit.
I guess you recently finished FTL.
Yeah, I finally finished FTL. I've actually managed it twice. But the thing about FTL was. I've been playing it and just not been able to kill the final boss. And then I unlocked the Zoltan ship. I unlocked the Type B Zoltan ship, which doesn't even start with shields. It starts with 0 shields, so you've got no shielding at all. And I was like, oh, well, this will be just fun for shits and giggles. I'll just take it out and see how long I survive. And I actually ended up killing the final boss with that ship on my first go as that ship, and it was my first final boss kill. So.
And it just because you named the crew of Velerious.
No, that was my second one. My second one, I did it as the Federation crew, so the basic Kestrel crew, so the one you start with. And I named the crew Charon, Vel, and Jade. And again, I actually managed to kill the final boss. So that was really exciting as well, because that's the first time I've actually bothered to name the crew after us. So that worked out really well. Such a good game, that FTL. It really is. It's a game we should consider doing a local co-op on.
Problem I find with that is I don't find it visually appealing. Because I'm one of these people that I don't mind games, but the thing is I like to see something happen.
Yeah, because it is...
As much as people say, like, you've got your people walking around the ship and everything, but you're looking at the same ship.
I know what you're saying. There's not a lot of animation necessarily. It's quite a...
Well, not only that, but I'd kind of like, even if it was...
It plays out a bit like a board game in a way.
Even if every single time you just saw your ship kind of floating in front of their ship and you saw the modifications on your ship, that would kind of keep me intrigued.
But you do, this is the thing, you do see, like, even if you swap out your weapons, you can see the weapons change on the ship.
But obviously you're looking at it top down and it's just sat there.
Yeah, but it's
kind of like, right, drawing in the sand, and you just draw in the sand a shape that you want, and that's basically what you look at with FTL. If you're looking at a diagram in the sand.
It's not. There's a lot more to it than that. I know what you think, because you're saying, all right, you're looking at your ship, and your ship is a schematic, effectively. You're saying you're not getting the immersive experience out of it, but it's like I do get that experience out of it.
But you see, that's
I think you're not giving it enough credit. That's the
but
that's the thick of it.
It's the visualness. This is what I do with a lot of games nowadays. I like visual things.
Yeah, but
I like the idea of like...
You don't want to fall into that trap of, oh my god, I'm not playing that, the graphics are shit. I mean, look at Towns.
No, not like that. But like, this is the reason why, like, Dungeons and Dragons Like, I can go online and play Dungeons and Dragons online, but when it comes to actually sitting there doing, like, an actual playthrough of it with
Pen and
someone
paper.
and using my imagination and crap, after a while, it will grate into me. Unless, of course, there was something kind of interesting going on.
What you're saying is you've got no imagination.
Well, I have imagination, fortunately. That is the thing. My mind is always going. I'm always thinking of things. Like, I'm always thinking of, like, games that I'd like.
But
So, like, I like games that, you know, like towns, like things like this. I kind of like the idea of having a massive town, watching everyone run around in it and shit like that.
But I don't understand what your major beef with FTL is. That's the thing.
Because it's like... What you got to think about is, right, in level 1 of a dungeon looks like a specific thing. In level 2, it looks a little bit different. In level 3, it looks different. There's different monsters to fight. There's different attacks. You can do a slash, you can do a thump, anything like that.
But there
in
is
FTL,
all this exists.
In FTL, you've got lasers that all seem to like fire the exact same kind of like beam, like thing.
No, you've got lasers, you've got beams, you've got the green lasers, which are different, which are hull lasers. You've got.
But tell me this: do the green lasers look like red lasers?
You've got
green?
bombs, you've got missiles, you've got. You can teleport onto the enemy ship and fight them hand to hand, like send an away team to go take them out. You've got ion weapons that can disable their systems and stuff. It's like there's so much more to it than because you haven't played it. You've only seen sort of the basics. There's a lot you haven't seen.
Yeah, but it's like I've watched other people play it as well, and kind of like even if like a lot of people have now put voices in there, so they're doing their own voices for like the crew they've got.
But that's irrelevant
to me. Yeah, but that makes it more fun.
Well, yeah, but that's.
Because it's at least something new.
Yeah, but it's irrelevant to the core gameplay. What we're talking about now is video.
Which, as I've said, it's...
You're saying you wouldn't want to watch it. What I'm trying to figure out is why don't you want to play it?
Because it's just not visually appealing. I don't seem to think that...
But that's got nothing to do with people making up voices while you're sat there playing it.
Because if...
You saying you'd be more likely to play it if I sat at the side of you doing voices for the people.
Well, no, if there was actual voices in the game. I wouldn't.
But that would be pointless. What are they going to say? Every time you move over here, okay then, move back, okay then, move here, okay then.
It'd still be
what else are they going to say?
Well, yes, Captain. Or if there's damage to the hull, they go, sir, emergency damage to the hull.
But there's damage to the hull all the time. It would get so annoying if every time something happened, they were constantly saying
There's not really
shit.
a way I can describe it. It's the fact of, like, it's one of these games, like I was saying to you, there's some of the strategy games that I have, that they're just like, flat pieces of land that you look at, and you have like an arrow that points from one place to another, and it comes up with statistics saying you sent 10,000 men. 10,000 men conquered this place, and then it turns red.
But it would be like
that's boring.
It would be.
I want to see these 10,000 men run in and slaughter the others, or at least even just a little bit of visual.
It would be annoying as fuck. It'd be like in Civ if every fucking turn they went,
But they still speak in Civ. And the thing is, with Civ,
but they don't.
Civ has mountains and such. Well, they do in the single player campaign. Yeah, I had the people speak to me. The other people like Caesar and shit.
They say a couple of lines when you meet them.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm on about. Anyway, never mind. God. It'd be like playing towns, and every time somebody put a roof block on, they went, "Put a roof block down, sir. Put a roof block down, sir. Put a roof block down, sir."
What I'm saying is, I don't need that with towns because I can see the people doing things.
But you can see the people doing things in FTL.
Yeah, but on the same place over and over again. I can see them running out of the drive shaft into the fucking captain's deck every 5 seconds.
So why do you need verbal confirmation of it?
Well, it'd just make it a bit more fun than them doing it at the same time. If it was different...
As somebody who spent 47 hours playing FTL, if they did bring in voices, I would stop playing it because it would annoy the shit out of me.
But it's like the thing like Don't Starve. I like that, you don't. It's one of these games that I'm not massively fond of.
I just don't understand how you think voice would make any difference.
Well, I think graphics would make a difference. If I saw the ship hovering there, it'd probably make a bit more difference to me.
But it was an indie game funded off a Kickstarter. It's not going to have, like, fucking...
So I'm very happy not to buy it and let everyone who enjoys that buy it.
It's not going to have graphics like bloody Star Trek Online or something.
Well, no, I don't want graphics like that. They're a bit shit, to be honest. See, there's games that go over the top with, like, graphics and voices and everything like that, which is also equally annoying. But it's just the fact that in my games list that like things I enjoy and things I don't. It'd be one of the things.
It would be like in Torchlight. Every time your pet gets hit, your pet is fleeing, your pet is hurt, your pet is fleeing, your pet is hurt.
And yet that didn't grate on my nerves.
Fucking great on mine.
It didn't grate on mine now. This is it. We're different in like how we enjoy games. So it just there's no real way for me to explain it to you. It's one of the games that like I'm kind of about. Anything? What else have you been playing?
That's pretty much it all week, man. FTL and 10 million. I mean, what more do you need? I had a bit of a go of Endless Space, which is basically Civ 5 in space. I don't know how they've even got away with it, because as far as I'm aware, it's not the same company that made it. I don't think it's 2K.
Isn't there another one that the Yogscast played that was kind of like that?
I don't know, maybe.
I'm sure there was.
But it's like, it's almost an exact clone. It's just everything's space themed. And it's a bit weird. It is a bit weird. It's a lot really complicated to get your head around because all the technologies and stuff have just got stupid futuristic names like, nanobaryonic particles. I've got no idea what the fuck nanobaryonic particles do. It's like,
well, they're nanoparticles, they're baryonical.
But you've got to try and figure this shit out, and it's like I'm just gonna get owned on my first go. I know that because like Civ, you need to know what you're doing. Whereas on Civ, it's sort of like after one go, you know what you're doing. It's like, right, get to writing first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So you sort of know where you're aiming. Get your economy up. You need to get banking in the Middle Ages, all that shit.
I was thinking of a game I played, like, a while back now, that kind of, like, triggered everything that I wanted in a game. Right? Empire Earth 2.
Empire Earth? Which one was that?
It's the one where you start out as cavemen and you build yourself up to the future kind of thing. But you go through researching things as you do it, right? It's real-time strategy.
Yeah.
And, like, you start out literally with cavemen and a barracks made out of mud that people are taught to club people in. And as you go forward in time, you get all the way to, like, the future epoch.
Was this the one with the Greek gods?
No, that's Age of Mythology. Age of Mythology didn't have, like, this... This was unique to Empire Earth, really. I think it's called Empire Earth. I'll have to look at some point. I'm sure it's got Empire Earth 2.
I don't know. You play a lot of these real-time strategies.
Essentially, what happened was, right, you started out with, like, cavemen, and the cavemen basically started to, realise things. So you taught them how to build the wheel and shit. And you'd go up into...
Which is how you start Civ. You research things like the wheel
basically,
and pottery.
And you get, like, because it's real-time strategy, not turn-based, you can see all your people, like, walking around. And as you advance, all the houses get remade. So, like, after mud, they turn into wood. And you get carts going down the road.
Yeah.
And they're taking things from one place to another and such. And the object of it is to kill your enemy. But obviously your enemy is advancing with you.
Yeah.
So as you advance, he can also advance as well. But he chooses if he wants to advance or not and such. And you basically have a space race to the very end. And when you get into the future, you end up with robots and crap like that.
Yeah.
So you end up like going over to his house, and if he's got like Victorian
So it's basically a real-time version of Civ.
But except you don't have future things in Civ.
You do.
You've got the future race.
You've got the giant death robots and the...
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I know you had the future race
And
by
you've got-
building a spaceship.
Yeah, you've got your futuristic technology and what have you, and you eventually do go to space.
Probably more like a real-time strategy of that then, and not as expansive. Like Civ could take days to finish.
Oh,
This
God,
was
yeah.
literally, in an hour I could have already got to maybe Middle Ages where I've got a gun, but I've got musket men, who load their pistol, put it on the post, fire, and then load it again. And then as you go forward, you get into military, where you've got actual fucking camo guys that are crawling through and such and sniping people at long range.
Yeah, when you get the Marines on Civ, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Marines.
But it's like,
Send in
while
the
you're doing
Marines.
this, the greatest part is the nuclear epoch, which basically everyone knows how to launch nuclear missiles,
Yeah.
but don't know how to stop them.
Yeah.
So there's always that kind of thing, like where you build one, and the AI knows you built one. And the AI won't fire its nuclear missile because it knows you'll just fire one back.
Yeah.
Because it can fire one onto your nuclear missile launcher and destroy it.
But it doesn't know where it is.
Yeah.
So you've got a sort of Mexican standoff.
Yeah. So basically, it is like a Cold War then, because everyone then races even faster, because you can get like nuclear jammers later on, where a missile's fired out and you jam it and it just launches back on them and blows them up. So then they're fucked. And also, it does radioactive damage, so you can't build in that place again.
Yeah.
Which is always nice in nuclear
Same on
war.
Civ, if you nuke someone, the
Yeah.
land is rendered like infertile. So
Yeah.
you can really sort of damage it.
That was one of the first things you did. Always nuke their farms.
Mm.
Their food supply is now fucked because they can't grow anything. And I mean, the only thing I think they missed was in Empire Earth 1 they had spies, and they didn't in Empire Earth 2. And the spies basically were handy if you know, like when you have them in Civ and you send them in and they just like corrupt like a barracks or something.
Yeah.
And basically what you did was you sent in this spy and he'd just go over there and he'd like feed their cows some mad cow shit, and they'd all be fucking mad cows and be mooing all night, and then they couldn't
They'd
get
all
sleep.
be fucking mad cows.
Yep. And then we're all fucking mad cows.
I've lost that bit of copper that I was eyeing up.
It was where you go to the stairs, you go down, and then...
It's not drastically important right now. We need to get this hill done, really, which is what we're working on right now. Velerious.
Well, only other thing I played this week is McPixel.
McPixel.
Which...
What's that about?
It's bizarre. It's a puzzle-solving game.
Yeah.
But it has some of the weirdest puzzles you've ever seen. One of the puzzles, right, that springs to mind, it took me ages to figure this out. You're on top of a volcano, right? Now, every point of McPixel is there's a bomb going off. You've got 20 seconds, you need to solve this puzzle or it blows up.
Okay.
And you've got infinite retries at this, but it will clock like how many times it took you and such. So basically, this bomb's going off. You're on a volcano, and there's a bun, a cow, and a woman, and a little sign saying "Insert virgin here," poking towards the lava. So instantly, I thought, oh well, maybe I'll throw the woman in there. So I went to her and kicked her in the lava, and it blew up because apparently she wasn't a virgin. So went back in, right, and I thought, well, what's this bone for? Picked up the bone, clicked the cow. He then proceeded to ram the bone in the cow's anus, and the cow proceeded to love him with love hearts.
Great. Oh, you do love your anuses, so
And then, right?
I can see why you enjoyed that.
And then I thought, hang on a minute, there must be some kind of weird thing about it. So I clicked the sign thinking, maybe I could pick that up. So I clicked the sign, so I jumped in the lava, and it doesn't blow up because apparently I was the virgin.
See, so sort of outside the box puzzles.
Yeah. I like the fact is when you start it as well, it says, warning, prolonged use to this game will cause mental damage.
Well, it sounds interesting. It does sound interesting.
It's interesting.
I might keep my eye out for that.
It's fast paced and really like, wow.
Another one I've got that I haven't played yet, which I really should at some point, is Terraria.
I wasn't too fond of Terraria, but I think it's just because the 2D again.
And it's something I'd like to have a go at some point.
The thing that annoyed me with Terraria is, right, it's 2D, yet you have to build that wall for a house.
Yeah, that was
like,
always a bit weird. Oh, the military
yeah.
merchant is on his way. Just thought I'd let you know that. Can we see him? Can we see him yet?
Nope. Is
he in the market? No. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he coming from?
He said he's on his way.
Oh, probably. Yeah, actually, good idea. Pom pom. There he is. Oh, it's just a dude. Just a dude. Just a dude. He's got some iron shit.
It's one of these guys,
shit.
He's been in Kickstarter.
That's pathetic.
He's been on Kickstarter to fund his armory dealing.
Why can we sell a feather hat? Have we got a feather hat somewhere?
I don't know. Maybe.
Who wants a feather hat? Everyone's equipped. We'll leave it.
Everyone is equipped.
We'll leave it. It must have popped up somewhere in the dungeon. Yeah. I want him to sort of shift that stone off because we lose it if I dig down again. So hopefully they're going to do it. I don't know why they're leaving this bit here on each time. They're just like that bit. Doing that bit first. We've still got creatures on the roof in places.
I do know what we can talk about.
What?
Aliens Colonial Marines.
Aliens Colonial Marines, which we both pre-ordered, I believe. You pre-ordered?
Yeah.
Right,
So
have I.
I pre-ordered it after playing Alien vs Predator another time and remembering how fucking scary it was.
That's the newer Alien vs Predator, isn't
Yeah.
it? That you played, yeah. Because I haven't actually played that. Although I saw you play through as the alien.
Yeah. Which was weird because you can play through as all three in the campaign.
Yeah.
And like the alien launches himself from one wall to another, and he just has to keep launching himself then onto Marines to eat them. Likewise, you can send in facehuggers to change them into zombies and crap. Whereas, like, if you play as a Marine, you have the little beepy thing, and while you're walking, the lights just shut
out. And this is the reason why I pre-ordered Colonial Marines, because I remember Alien Trilogy on the PlayStation, which was an FPS game set in the Alien universe, and you had the beepy thing from the films. And basically, it was like the whole ship was dark, and aliens could come through the walls and through the roof and the floor. There was false walls, false floors, false ceilings, and you didn't necessarily know where they were. And also, your beeping thing didn't differentiate between height.
Yeah.
So you'd be stood there, and you'd see a beep come onto your radar, like bleep, 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 and you'd be bricking it because you sat there in the darkness, and it's like you don't know if the alien's above you, below you. You don't know if he's round the corner, if there's a wall in the way, whether he could be on a different level, and it's like, and you'll just be wandering around, and it just start getting faster and faster. Beep 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 beep.
I think the
until he's like right upon you, and then you're like, where is it? Where is it? Then it just burst out the floor and like
scarier thing in
off.
this one is it'll do that and it'll get to the beeping point and then it just stops. Just the beeping goes.
Oh God.
And even worse,
because then it's not moving. Because it's a movement sensor, isn't it? That's the beauty of it.
And even worse, you hear the as it goes through the vents.
But
and you know it's above you, and you're like, "Oh my God, it's stopped. It's not moving anymore."
Because this is the whole point of the beeping thing was in Alien 2. There's a bit where they're using the motion trackers to track the aliens, and they're outside the room, and as they're coming closer and closer, they're like, "Well, where are they?" They're all pointing their guns at the door, and the aliens are still getting closer and closer, and Vasquez is like, no, this isn't right. They're inside the room, and then that's when they notice that they're up in the ceiling, sort of thing.
Which in this now they have it in the vents, and they just burst out and just like. Oh.
And also, this is an online multiplayer game as well. Four player co-op, is it?
Which the Alien vs Predator one wasn't.
Yeah. So this is.
It says co-op on it.
So what I'm basically expecting is Left 4 Dead with aliens.
Yeah.
In a way, so it's going to be exciting as shit.
It'd be more interesting to see what kind of pathway they go down. They've got two at the moment, right? The kind of pathway of what Left 4 Dead did, running through a level, shooting everything till you get to the safe zone. Or the pathway of Dead Island.
Where there's just loads of aliens and you level up.
You'll be doing quests. Side quests from people who lock themselves in lockers and shit.
I hope it's not that. I hope it's more level-based.
Like the guy in Dead Island, which you find, and he goes, "Oh man, you need to bring me some alcohol." And you have to bring him lots of alcohol.
I guess what I'm really sort of hoping for is an FPS version of Alien Swarm. That would be ideal. It's like a class-based. If it's class-based, I'm medic straight off the bat.
I kind of liked all the techie stuff.
I want to be medic. Yeah, you were always the tech in Alien Swarm, right? Yeah, because you were good at the hacking and stuff. And I was medic.
Do you remember the other guy we played with once who did the hacking?
Yeah, he was an amazing hacker.
It was like literally just went, I'll just hack this door.
It's done. We did the speed runs with him, didn't we? Yeah. We speed ran every level except for Syntech Residential.
It was like, I'm going to take these rocket boots, just jet over here, jet over there.
Oh, the epic rocket boots plan, where he had to take the rocket boots, leave us a gun that we had to carry over to where he'd rocket jumped to swap back. Then he could do the hack, and then he'd meet us on the way back, sort of thing, by flying over the roof. And it was just like, oh, what a level that was.
Thing is, with games nowadays, I seem to find myself playing either like engineer or like the kind of heavy gunner that takes most damage.
Oh, shit. So I'm hoping it's class based. That'll be great fun. But I haven't really looked into it or anything because I'm thinking I'm probably gonna like it either way. So. I don't think they can do much wrong with it.
Until a post comes out saying, we've made this exactly like Borderlands 2.
Oh, God. Yeah. We decided at the last minute we're going to do cell shading, because everyone loves cell shading.
Well, what if they go bloom lighting? That's what we need.
More bloom and some cell shading. Some motion blur. Let's get some motion blur in there.
We've taken the best part of it all, and you can't turn it off.
Let's lock VSync on. Give you no mouse sensitivity options. That's just basically Ghostbusters, the video game.
Yeah.
Which was a disaster, wasn't it? Really?
See, I quite like as well games, if they don't allow you to turn it off, like in the settings, if they thought, we don't want them to turn it off and everything, but then leave you the notepad where you can go in and it has like settings on.
So you can modify the file. Yeah. But I'd rather they just put the fucking options in. Rather than
they should have done, really.
But yeah, this. I'm hoping it's going to be amazing, though. I really am. I'm so excited.
And you just can't hide it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just at the time Mono died, you bastard.
I'm on the wrong layer again.
God, you're so bad.
I know.
If there's dirt on top, you're on the wrong layer.
That's good advice, Velerious. I think everyone should follow that advice.
If there's dirt on top, fellas, you're on the wrong layer.
Yeah.
Better take out your spade and dig yourself under the world.
Apparently. Okay, the hill flattening is coming along, Velerious. It's not quite as quick as I'd hoped. They had to break off for a harvest.
No one has ever thought about.
No one's moving the stone, but I'm no longer worried about it.
Has no one ever thought of just digging
Oh shit.
in one place on the Earth and seeing how far they can go?
You'd only get so far before you melt, because the Earth's quite hot in the middle.
Wasn't there a massive hole
It's,
that they said there was like a devil's hole or something? You can hear voices.
It's like a freshly baked pie, Velerious. In the middle, it's quite hot. You want to leave it to cool before you take a slice out.
Siege.
We've got a siege.
Probably shitloads of things come to kill Rodri.
It's only 2 slimes, so
Wow.
that's really not anything to worry about.
I'm trying to think what that cave's called now.
What cave?
There's like a massive hole in the ground somewhere.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah.
In the real world?
Yeah, apparently.
A cave that you can hear devil voices in.
Well, no, it's more like a hole.
A hole that you can hear devil voices
And
in.
it's more like just voices.
It sounds more like a load of bollocks, to be honest with you, Velerious.
I'll have to look it up
So,
after this. I think it's in Mexico or somewhere weird like that.
Oh god, it would be in bloody Mexico, wouldn't it?
I like how I said somewhere weird. That's going to offend everyone. I didn't mean weird as in Mexico's weird.
Mexico is
I mean
weird.
weird as in you don't expect it to have it. Although I think Mexico has the biggest ball of twine on it. Oh, that's Minnesota.
Wow. Some great use of knowledge there.
Actually, that's because of the Weird Al song. We're going to Minnesota to see the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
Wow. You are like the world's biggest Weird Al fan, so
he is amazing.
I will have to trust you on that. So, Velerious, we're coming up for time, so we're going to call it here.
Okay, then you're an idiot. We don't like you.
And over the course of the next
You said
couple of episodes, we're going to level this hill. And once this hill's leveled, we're going to build. I've decided we're going to leave 3 squares, and then we'll build a new street of houses, which will give us 12 new people for our town.
Just everyone remember, he's just
So-
gone. I've decided. You're not allowed to decide now. Shut
Yeah.
up.
Well, no, this is I'm the brains behind the operation. Really, you're the anus behind it.
Sounds true.
So, should we leave it there?
No, I think we should carry on.
I think we
for
should
another
carry
40
on.
minutes.
Just carry on. Then. I'll just keep going. It's your hard drive space we're burning away.
We're
So,
probably run out of space again,
We probably will.
Mr. Use
But,
all the space.
But no, we'll leave it there, and I'll go upstairs. We'll go and mumble, have a bit of a chat, because also I want you to take a look through the Derp Chat video,
Yes.
because that's a project we might be bringing on, which I'm going to mention it. I'm going to mention it now.
You're mentioning it now. You're ruining the surprise.
There's a possibility we'll be bringing out a second series, which is called Derp Chat. It'll just be a random. There's not going to be a schedule. It's just going to be every so often. And it will just be me and you, and then various other members of the Dirt Force, so maybe Jade, maybe Pinky, maybe Scar, maybe Grasta, whoever's around, chatting about either the channel or just video games in general. And we have filmed a few episodes, but they're not all going to make it up because it was just a test.
Yeah.
But we've got one that we're thinking we might be going up, so look out for that, because that could be fun.
And remember, we're always watching you
We're always watching
in the comment section.
So
Well, now I am.
I'm pausing it there. So R.I.P. Ronald, and yeah, that's the end of that episode, players.
Yes, indeed.
So say bye bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
See you later, folks. I don't know. Sorry, I fucked that up.
You fucked that up.